Prime Secrets.
Hey guys, this is Mike, aka Prime. So basically, I'm making another video today talking about when is it time to upgrade your computer. A lot of people are always asking me, is my computer too old? Is it time for me to upgrade it? So in this video, basically, we're going to just go through like older computers that if it's time to replace it, and then I'm going to show you like computers you should look into and what you should buy. So let's start off by looking at like some Dell Dimensions. So if you have this Dell Dimension, key things about your computer is your processor and your RAM. Just always remember this. So this processor is a Celeron processor, which is very old. It's time to upgrade this tower. Definitely, if your tower even looks like this, you replace it. Just because the Celeron processor is only a single core processor, very old. You look at it, it's not even a gig of memory. It's only 256 megabytes of RAM. If you have this, or even 512 megabytes, definitely want to replace your computer as soon as possible. Let me show you some other towers you might want to replace. Any of these towers right here, any of these Dell Dimension towers, you want to replace them. Because yeah, it's old. Even these white ones, you want to replace as well. Another key factor that you want to look into is the operating system. So if the operating system has XP or Vista, definitely replace the computer. It's time to replace it. That means, because if you have XP, think about it, it's probably over 10 years, and then your hardware is all old and it's time to replace it. If you have Vista, I mean, you might be able to upgrade to Windows 7, but do you really want to take the time and money investing on upgrading that computer when you can just buy a new computer? Because I'm going to show you computers that you could buy, which is pretty decent amount, that you could just rather just upgrading an older tower, you could just buy a brand new computer. It's probably better to do it that way. So like yeah, any of these towers you want to replace. If you have like a HP, Gateway, Asus, always look at two key factors. This is what I'm going to tell you again. It's the processor. If it's a Pentium 4 processor, you want to replace it. Celeron processor, you want to replace it. Any low-end AMD processors, you want to replace those as well. RAM, you need at least 4 gigs now of RAM just to run smoothly because all these updates that we're having now, all the applications that we use, they need more RAM so it can run smooth. Without those key factors, that you're not going to have a good computer, and it's not going to run well as well. Macs, we can talk about Macs as well. Like a computer like this, you want to stay away from. This is too old. This is from 2008. Only has 1 gig of RAM, which is nothing nowadays. The processors are Core 2 Duo. Yeah, it's definitely time to upgrade this Mac. I know everyone has a price range and budget, so trust me, don't just because you listen to my video, don't go out and buy a computer just because I said so. But if it's in your budget, definitely go buy it, because you'll definitely be satisfied. I'm gonna show you some computers to buy as well. But with a Mac, you don't want to have a Core 2 Duo processor. You want something like the i7s, i5, i3 processors. That goes back to PCs as well. You want an Intel processor. You want i3, i5, or i7. Only those. Don't get any like Pentium processors, because they sell the lower ends do have Pentium processors. If you get a Xeon processor too, by all means go get it. But I'm gonna show you the prices. With the i7s are pretty expensive. If you can afford even above that, then get it. The better the processor, the better your computer is going to be. With the Macs, yeah, don't get anything lower than 4 gigs. We're going to go through that right now. So we're going to go through 2 websites. There's one called Micro Center that's basically, they sell pretty decent computers. I don't know, wherever you're from, you might not have a Micro Center near you, but I'm just showing you like a good ballpark price range where you want to look for new computers. Before we go through this, remember the key factors of if you need to replace your computer. One is the hardware. Processor should definitely not be a Pentium 4, Celeron, or a low-end AMD processor. 2 is your operating system. If you're running XP or Vista, you definitely want to replace those computers. Even if like if you had a computer when Windows 7 just came out and your processor and your RAM is very old. If it's a Pentium or a low-end AMD, it's probably time to replace that as well. All right, so back to this. We're gonna look around to see, like, what I tell all like the people I support and everything is, you only need two things really to buy a computer. You want to hear the two things that you basically need? I said it before, and I'll say it again: is your processor and your RAM. Those are only two things that really matters when purchasing a computer. I mean, size, screen size, and everything else, tower size, yeah, that matters. But if you're looking to have a good performance computer, your processor and your RAM are the two key factors. So, best thing to do before you go out and buy a computer, you never want to just go to the store and just purchase a computer, because the salespeople at the store, their jobs is to sell you a computer. They don't care about the price ranges, what kind of quality computer it is. Whatever they have in stock, that's what they're going to sell you. Trust me, I've been in the business for a very long time, so I know the ins and outs of retail. You want to research. You want to do your research. Go online, check your websites out. I'm going to have a list of websites to look at right here. So look at these websites, do the research of that particular model that you're looking into. Check the reviews, see what people are saying. That's the best way to figure out what computer you want to buy. So, like I said, we're going to look at Micro Center. So, the two things, like I said, processor and RAM. So, processors, you always want to get an Intel processor. Intel, I mean, AMDs are good too, but Intel is the way to go. So, i3, i5, i7 are the three main processors that you want to get for a consumer. Now I'm talking for consumer, home-based computers. I'm not going into gaming and everything. I'm just talking about regular home computers, people that use it for either like a small business at home or just regular surfing and emails and stuff like that. Not gaming computers. If you want me to do a gaming computer, I can do that as well. Just leave comments. The more people that say they want it, trust me, my next video will be about that. But right now, I'm just focusing on home computers that needs to be upgraded, and workstations in the office possibly as well. Okay, so let's go back. Two main things that we need is processor and the RAM. So processor, i3, i5, i7. RAM, the most amount of RAM that you should get is something that at least has an i6 processor, at least i6 RAM. Sorry about that. Nothing lower than that. If you have to get a 4 gigabytes because it's on sale and it meets your price range, then get it. But nothing lower than the 4 gigs. But please try to get 6 gigs, because you're going to see the difference in that speed. And also, the RAM, be very careful, because you see how this says DDR3? Make sure yours says DDR3, not DDR2. You don't want old technology. You want to stay current. All right? So let's look around. See this? This is an i3 processor, okay, running at 3.4 gigahertz, which isn't bad. This comes with Windows 7. Yeah, let's talk about Windows 7, Windows 8 real quick. So Windows 7 is a very solid operating system. That's probably the most solid operating system out right now. It's good to have if you're working it for business. Like if you have to remote into a computer using VPN, Cisco, or if you're doing anything business related, like maybe even QuickBooks, something basic like QuickBooks, or anything dealing with a database, you want to use a Windows 7 computer, not a Windows 8 computer. A Windows 8 computer, it's still in the beginning of its process, and you know it's a dead project anyway. But I would stay away from a Windows 8 computer if you're using it for business related issue. So it's probably best to get a Windows 7 machine. Windows 8 is good for like regular home usage, like your basic internet surfing, emails, I want to go on blogs and stuff like that. That's what Windows 8 is good for. But not for business related stuff. Don't get it for business related stuff. So let's go look through these computers real quick. So i3, yeah, it's a Dell Optiplex. This is a good machine, decent, but I like i5 or i7. Get i3 if it fits your price range, but look more into a i5 or i7. Like you want i5 or i7, because the better the processor, the better your computer is going to run. So let's surf through here. So here is a good i7. The thing is, with the i7s, they are more expensive. Probably the lowest i7 you're gonna get is probably gonna be around $700 to $800. But the thing is, it's definitely worth it. You see this i7? That's a good i7 processor. That's a 4th gen i7 with 16 gigs of RAM. So this is not going to be a slow computer. It's going to be nice and fast. It boots up fast, open up applications fast. Now, it is expensive. That's $1,200 for a Dell XPS. But hey, you get what you pay for. It's either you're buying a Honda or you're buying a Ferrari. I mean, you can get by with the Honda, or if you want to go nice and fast and nice and smooth and look good, get the Ferrari. But I know that comparison was probably off, but I'm trying to make everyone happy. But back to the computer. My top brands that I like to purchase is Asus, Dell, and HPs. Those are probably the 3 top brands I like. Lenovo is they're okay. I mean, if they have a good sale, then yeah, get it. But stick with Dell, HP, or Asus. Like this Asus right here is not that bad. You get an i5 processor with 8 gigs of RAM for $679. That's decent. But yeah, like here we go again with another Dell XPS with an i7 machine. It's 16 gigs. This is good. It's still a 4th gen processor. You're looking around like $1,000. That's just for this particular website. I'm just giving you a little ballpark of how much everything costs. Let's go to Best Buy. Let's see what they have at Best Buy. So they have like a HP Envy i5 processor. This has 12 gigs of RAM and 2 terabytes. I mean, of hard drive space. So like, which is pretty good. The hard drive, the only reason why I said like the hard drive is not one of my 2 key factors is because if you get an i5 or i7 processor, your hard drive is going to be big. It's going to be at least 1 terabyte. If you get like an i3 processor, usually those come with 5 gigs or like 1 terabyte. Hard drive, because nowadays hard drive is really nothing. Everyone that sells a computer usually has a large amount. But if you're more into pictures and to music and stuff like that, then yes, you want to get something big. So let's scroll through. So that's stay away from Acers. I'm not trying to put them down or anything, but Acers, they kind of fell off a couple of years ago. They're not as strong as they used to be. Their motherboards go all the time. Seeing a lot of hard drives go. I would stay away from Acers and Gateways as well. They're really not too good. See, this is another Asus tower. This is an i7 tower. This is for another $1,000. Like I said, the i7 is expensive, but you're getting what you pay for. This is good quality, like machinery. Because with that i7, you got a high-end processor, so you're gonna get a high-end motherboard. The hard drive might be decent, but it's still gonna be a good computer regardless. Like the SPSs are a very good brand because those are more of a higher end that Dell sells people. So this is an i5 with 12 gigs, and look, it's only for $769, which isn't bad. I mean, that's pretty decent nowadays. So like, before you go and buy your computer, the best thing to do is look at the reviews. So like, let's say if we were going to look at that i7 one, where is it? Right here. Let's say if you're looking to buying that i7 computer, click on the reviews, see what people are saying. That's the best way to shop, is to always look at reviews and see what people says. Like this is 4 stars. People are telling me, saying that it's good, helpful, blah 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 blah. But I like to look for negative comments. Negative comments are like probably the best ones to look for, because you can see what happens. See, this guy, he got a blue screen of death for $1,000, so he's pretty upset. But not everyone gets blue screens. It could have been just a bad batch, or it could just been him in particular. He could have installed something that gave him a blue screen. But yeah, see, there's not that many negative comments for this particular computer. See, that's what you want to look for. You want to look for what people say and everything like that. Another way to shop for a computer, you can just go online and have it shipped to you. So basically, this is probably gonna be our last step, but we can go to like a Dell website and then order a computer through Dell. If you don't like Dell, you can do it. HP does the same thing, but I'm gonna do it through Dell. I'm more comfortable with Dell's website. So yeah, so let's go home, desktop. The reason why I like Dell's website is because right up front, before you even look at their towers, they ask you what do you want. So basically, we want right here. So we want a 4th gen i7, or I'm going to do a fourth gen i5 as well, because those two processors are the ones I really want. But if you want something that meets your budget, like I know everyone has their own budget, put i3 as well in there. Operating system, it doesn't really matter, but like I said, if you're using it for more business, only check off the Windows 7 or the Windows 7 Pro, because that's going to meet your needs. RAM, like I told you, it has to be 6 gigs of RAM, and then everything above that, but nothing lower than 6 gigs. I mean, if you see a sale for 4 gigs, then okay, get it, but I wouldn't get anything lower. So let's just check these off. Alright, come on. Alright, and then we did 16 gigs and above. And now it starts generating all the computers that meet your criteria. So see, it has i5s, and then you get a price range, which isn't bad. These aren't bad. These come with Windows 8.1 because I selected for both, but you can look through it and see if you want Windows 7. So these are the basic price ranges that you're going to look for. Like I said, with the i7s, they are going to be more expensive. So you're probably looking at, with the i7, probably like 8 to like, it can range depending on what you want, but it can range probably from 8 to like 1,500. But you're paying for quality. So that's it with the PCs. Let's talk about Mac real quick. Like if you're gonna buy a Mac, let's go through. We're gonna just do the iMacs, because iMacs is the all-in-one desktops that they sell. So let's go to buy now. And then take the same consideration with the laptop if you're buying a laptop too. You never want to buy the first model that they have. Like this price, it looks good, but the thing is, it's just the first base. Look how weak the processor is, 1.4 gigahertz, which is nothing nowadays. I will go with either this one with a nice i5 processor. You get 8 gigs of RAM, and the thing is, with a Mac, it doesn't need as much resources that a PC needs. So you can get by perfectly fine with this i5 and this 8 gigs of RAM right here. And people always ask me, what's better, a PC or a Mac? Alright, let me tell you the difference. The reason why a Mac is pretty strong is because, I'm using a Mac right now, as you can tell in my video, is because it's Unix, so it's hard to crack a Unix machine. There's really not that many hacks out there to crack it. It's a solid operating system. Macs have very solid operating systems. I would get a Mac if you're just using it for internet surfing, if you're just checking emails, Facebook, things of that nature, listening to music, editing pictures and stuff like that. Mac will be perfect for you. But like I said, you're going to spend around, this is just the base price, you're going to spend probably up to $1,600 because you want to get warranty with it as well. So if it meets your price range, get a Mac. If you're only using it for home usage, trust me, you'll be satisfied with a Mac. Now, with the PC, the thing is, PCs are good. They do get a lot of viruses. I'm going to say it right now. You get a lot of viruses on PCs. You're going to do cleanings. I mean, that's what my other videos for. So if you want to get a PC, do a lot of cleaning, do that as well. The only thing about PCs that I don't like is because they can get hacked very quickly. You can go to a website, bam, you're hacked. Macs, they're strong because they have the Unix operating system, so it's hard to crack it, which is good. But back to here. So the two models for the iMacs, they have this 21.5 inch screen, and then they have the 27. I believe they still have the 24 inches, but you have to call them to get that specially ordered. But yeah, these are what you want to look into. So that's about it. Let's just sum it up. So when it's time to replace your computer, if you have a Pentium processor, Celeron processor, or a weak AMD, trust me, you want to replace that tower as soon as possible. Another thing is look at your operating system. If you have a Windows XP operating system or a Vista operating system, it's time to replace your computer. If your computer's running very slow, or if you're always getting blue screens and your hardware, you're always getting hardware errors, blue screens, back to back all the time, rather than wasting your money repairing that older machine, just get a new computer. Depending on how old your computer is, like let's say if it's 8 years old, and then you have all these hardware issues and software issues, just replace your tower. It's time to replace it. So when purchasing a computer, remember these key things. There's 2 key factors. Remember, processor, RAM. Processor, you want to make sure it has an i3, i5, or i7 processor. RAM, you don't want to buy a computer that has less than 6 gigs of RAM. 6 gigs and above, that's what you should get. And then that's about it. So those are the key factors. Please subscribe to my video. Thank you for all the other people that subscribed. I'm going to be making videos like this all the time, giving out secrets and stuff like that. And then again, if you want me to do a video for something else, just let me know. I can do cell phones. I can do anything that's in technology. That's my field. That's what I got a degree in. You guys leave any comments if you have any questions. You guys have a good day.